What is up, everybody? Bodybuilding V here, and today I'm going to be taking you guys through how to create a meal plan. I'm going to be using my newest client as inspiration for this. And basically, I'm going to walk you through step by step, starting at high level, like where do we want the calories, where do we want the macros, and then detailing what those foods might look like, and then actually plugging and playing down to the gram to give you the exact calories and macros that we're looking for. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys so that I can take you through and go ahead and build this out. So get out of that thing of death there. But all right. Okay. So let's come over here. This is going to be my workspace. I've got my Fitness Pal pulled up on my right. And on my left, I have a little bit of kind of the information we need to get started here. So, what we're going to do, we're going to say he's 190 pounds. He is a man. He's going to get some cardio each week from tennis and kettlebell work. Additionally, probably 3 to 4 workouts each week with weights. So, that's a good starting point. And then next, I have his current macros. He was kind enough to list out exactly what we're at around 2,000 calories or so, protein 110, carbs 230, fat about 65. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just make some notes on the right here. We're going to push up on the protein. I'm not sure what we'll do on the carbs just yet, but we can also pull down just a little bit on his fats. The fats are decent there, definitely like a healthy range. But as far as fat loss and keeping his athletic ability as high as possible, I think we have some room to pull down there. So I'm going to make some updated macros. We'll still probably keep the calories. Maybe right around 2000, maybe a little bit less. Maybe we'll aim for like a calorie range of around 1900, like just slightly lower. 1900, I'll put ish, 1900 ish. We'll get there. Um, and I've listed out myself a little bit of a cheat sheet, some things that I like to include in meal plans. So I've got our different protein, carbs, fat sources, some probiotic foods, veggies, and fruits. I've also added little asterisks on the ones that I know that he really wants to have here. So what we'll do first, though, is we'll go ahead and work through the math here. There's 4 calories per gram of protein. There's 4 calories per gram of carbohydrates, and there's 9 calories per gram of fat. So, with that information, he's at 190 pounds. So, I'm going to want to put his protein, let's just match it gram per gram. Let's do 190 grams. 190 grams will pretty much guarantee that he's not going to lose any muscle while we're cutting, and it's going to keep him a bit more full. I mean, realistically, we could just swap the protein up and drop the carbs down, not even touch the fat. But I want to give us a little bit more room to play with because our bodies run really well on carbs. So keeping his carbs a little bit higher might actually give him a bit of a performance boost. So 190 times 4 equals, let's grab a calculator here. 190 times 4, that's 760. So he's going to have 760 calories from protein. And I think for the fat, we don't have to do a major drop here, but maybe we go down to like 55 grams, be a little bit less than where he's at right now. So 55 times 9 will give us his fat calories for the day. That's 495. So what I will do is I'll take that 495 and I will add to it the 760 from the protein. So he's going to get 1255 calories a day from those two, but we want to put him at about 1900. So I'm just going to subtract 1900, and that gives us 645 calories left to play with. And we'll divide that by 4 because there's 4 calories per gram of carbohydrate. And so we'll come over here and hit enter. About 161 carbs. So we're going to pull his carbs down a little bit, and we'll see how this works. My goal is to get him lean quickly so that we can eventually transition back to a muscle building phase. So 161 times 4 is roughly 645. or so calories. So this will put him at about 1900-ish. So now we have our numbers. We got the 190 for the protein, the 160 for the carbs, the 55 for the fat. And this should put him in a pretty solid fat loss stage here. I think that this is going to be good. We might even go higher than this over time. Also, underneath carbs, I need to put intra-workout because that is a must-have. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to kind of use this as inspiration. I'm going to bold the foods that we do use as we go through them. And I will clear out this calculator here and I'll be plugging them into MyFitnessPal on the side. So I know that he had asked for some potatoes. I know that he likes potatoes. So I'm going to say, let's give him some potatoes. Why not? We can do potatoes for breakfast alongside some tofu. So we'll get the carbs from the potatoes. We'll get some fat and protein from the tofu. We can add some nutritional yeast as well as another kind of fun way to flavor that tofu. Let me go ahead and refresh this for you here on the right. You can kind of see what I'm plugging in here. I put 200 grams of potato, half of a block of the super firm tofu from Nasoya. That might be a little bit high actually. And then 10 grams of nutritional yeast. That put them at about 44 grams of protein for meal one. And then let's say we add a veggie with that. Trying to think what you'd want in the morning from a veggie perspective. I love ketchup, but maybe instead of ketchup, we'll do some tomatoes. And I guess technically that's a fruit, but hey, it's nutritious. I like to put everything in grams too, so it's easy for my clients to know exactly what we're doing. So do 100 grams of potatoes and maybe add some peas, a little bit of protein. Why not? So some potatoes, some peas, and I'm also going to add in, if you see, I have some probiotic foods here. I'm going to say let's add some kimchi to this meal, and he could move that to any meal that he wants. But I think that having some kimchi in there to help with digestion is really a good idea. All right, so let me refresh for you guys so we can kind of see where we're at. And this is how I do it. I usually build out like one meal at a time. All right, calories are a little bit high. I already know, like, if we got 1900 to work for the day and we're already at 600 in meal one, that's a little bit high. The protein, it's high-ish. It's not too bad. We'll come back. We'll probably pull down. We might pull that tofu down a little bit. But let's go to meal two. So we've already kind of had a savory meal for breakfast. Maybe for this next meal, we do sweet. I love my sweets. So I think for that, we'll try some oats. Why not? We'll do 40 grams of oats. You could do some overnight oats. I love the Veg Nutrition protein powder. So we'll put some of that in there. I think vanilla would go well for this. I absolutely love blueberries for antioxidants. And let me slow down here just a moment. So he wanted tofu. I'm going to just bold things as we get the things that need to be done. We got the tofu. We got the potatoes for meal one. What else have we done here that needs to be kind of logged? We got a veggie. We got some peas in there. We got the kimchi. Let's go. All right. So then how that kind of clues me into what we're going to need for this next meal. So let's catch you guys up to speed here on the right. We've got oatmeal. We've got the veg. I'm going to add some blueberries for antioxidants. Absolutely love blueberries. I'm going to add some flaxseed for some healthy fats. This will help with hormone production. This is a natural athlete, so very, very important there. And let's keep this moving along. All right, so we got the flax taken care of. We've got the blueberries taken care of. Boom shakalaka. Okay. What's next? Oh, and we've added the veg protein powder, so we can bold that whole line off there too. Sure, let's do it. Okay, catching you guys up to speed here on the right. All right, thriving life. Yeah, we could build something out for a 125-pound woman. Go ahead and message me. We'll get something cooking for you. Hey, I see you got chronometer gold. Well, I've used MyFitnessPal for like over a decade, so I guess call me a dinosaur. I'm a little old here, old school. But okay, so for meal two, we got the oats, we got the veg vanilla, we got the blueberries, the flaxseed, and Do we need anything else? I'm gonna be a little out there. This might be kind of crazy for y'all, but let's throw, I guess, technically a vegetable or a fruit. I don't know. I don't know how this goes. Pumpkin. We're gonna say it's a vegetable. It's a squash, right? So we're gonna throw some pumpkin in there. I don't know. Squashes might be fruits. I don't know. It's healthy for you. I don't know where I have this listed. There it is. Pumpkin. All right. So what that'll look like for meal two is kind of like this sweet pumpkiny blueberry mashed up thing here. And again, calories a little bit high. We might have to pull them down. I have not used Dr. Greger's daily app. So that's something new to me. All right. So then meal three, we're gonna go back to savory for this one. I love my shreds of grace, the Say Grace shreds of grace. Super high in protein. Y'all can support. You can use code BodybuildingVegan. Super high in protein, but look at them right here. 23 grams of protein for 35 grams, a gram of fat, 7 carbs. Super duper lean. But very easy thing to fit in. He had asked for soy curls. These are like soy curls, just lower in fat. So let's maybe, I like to do like kind of an Italian style meal. I'll add some classico pasta sauce because it's pretty low in calories for what it is. Very high in potassium. It's a good taste. I just enjoy it. I think he would enjoy it too. We could add some avocado for healthy fats here. Why not? And then what else do we want to add with that? What else do we want to add? Oh, we could add some asparagus because then that would be our veggie for that meal. Boom. Add asparagus here. All right, so now let's pull it up here on the right. Hopefully you guys can see that. I know it's a little small. Well, maybe I can zoom it in just a little bit. Yeah, mostly works. Kind of cuts out the protein. Let me zoom it out one more. Okay, so we got the Say Grace. We got the pasta sauce, the avocado, the asparagus. That one, we're kind of more in line with the values there. Might need to pull that protein a little bit higher in the Say Grace. We'll put that at 50 for now, just as a placeholder. All right, we've got meal three done. Now, meal four for me, for my clients, that's usually going to be their intra workout meal. And I don't really care what order people eat their meals in. Totally fine for you to kind of swap these around. As long as the calories match back by the end of the day, we should be good to go. Also, if you're here watching this stream or if you're listening to this later and you're not already subscribed, I would absolutely love it if you do. That's why I make these videos. So for meal four, I add three specific things that are going to help him while he's training. And these might seem a little bit out there. Actually, for this one, I'm going to put four things. And they are going to be loaded here on the right. It's an intra workout. It helps him push through while he's training. We could probably pull down on the highly branched cyclic dextrin. That's a little bit high, though. So what we got here, all right, we have the highly branched cyclic dextrin. This is going to be a carb source while he's training. It's going to help him push through his workouts longer. We've also got 15 grams of EAAs here. The EAAs, they are the essential amino acids. They're the amino acids that you need to be able to recover your muscles while you're training. They're the amino acids your body can't synthesize itself. They need to be brought in externally. And by doing this, the highly branched cyclic dextrin and the EAAs, it allows you to recover while you're training and push a bit further and stronger. Additionally, we've added some salt here. If you guys have seen like the element drinks or anything like that, adding salt really allows you to push a bit further and harder while you're training. And then we've also added creatine here. I'm going to have him do 5 grams every day and then an additional 5 grams on training days. So not really a meal, but it is an intra workout, and I think it's extremely important to have these in your training. If you want to progress in your training, it's only going to make things better. So trying to make this a little bit easier for you guys to see as well. All right, next, let's go ahead and work on this meal 5. We've kind of done savory, sweet, savory. So I like to go back to sweet. We'll do some more of the veg nutrition. I think that would be solid. Let's add some peanut butter powder as well. Be kind of fun. Maybe some strawberries because why not? Strawberries are extremely low in calories, very solid antioxidant food. Let me catch this up. We did add oats. What else did we add? Okay. All right. Good deal here. And then what are we going to do? Oh, we've already got the protein here. We got the veg. Okay. All right. Oh, and then yes, thank you. My little cheat sheet here. I really like to have these probiotic foods. So a soy, cashew, coconut, or almond based yogurt. So let's go ahead and add that in. Catch you guys up here on the right side of the screen. So we've got the veg, the powdered peanut butter, the strawberry, the coconut milk, yogurt, and then I like to add some rice cakes. You take the rice cakes, you break them up, put it on top. It just kind of makes it a more fun meal. So let's refresh this. I know my face is kind of in the way at the bottom here. I don't know if there's any way to move myself. I don't know how to move myself, guys. So let me just instead, I'll move this over to the right so you can hopefully see it a little bit better up here. All right. So our totals now 2,000 calories. It's a little bit higher than what we wanted. 208 carbs, a little bit higher than what we wanted. 50 grams of fat, just about in line, and 180 on the protein, just about in line. So we're close. The goal was about 190 protein, 160 carbs, 55 fats. So now we just need to find some ways to pull down on the carbs. Now, this meal one, I knew this was going to be a little bit of a potential issue just because it was, yeek, it was so high. That'll work. Flip flop the screen, everyone. But so the potatoes up there, we could pull down on those potatoes. We could probably, honestly, this is like a prep hack. We'll do zucchini instead. We'll pull the potatoes out entirely and we'll do zucchini because watch this. For 200 grams of zucchini, we're only looking at about 30 calories. Let me show you here. 30 calories for 200 grams of zucchini, whereas 200 grams of potatoes, 154 calories. 35 carbs for the potatoes, 6 for the zucchini. So that alone might put us just about in line here. That brings, let me remove it. One day, come on, MyFitnessPal. Remove the potato. Okay, potatoes off. Potatoes off the table. Off the plate. All right, 179 carbs. We wanted 161, so still a little bit over. 51 fat. We wanted 55, almost in line. 190 protein. We're at 180. So we still need to drop the carbs just a tad. Just a tad. Where do we got room? Where do we got room to pull down? We can cut these green peas in half. That's fine. We'll put them at 50 grams. And I'll go ahead. I'll pull one of these rice cakes out. I bet that'll put us pretty close here. Let's go ahead and refresh, get those updates in. And this is what it is, guys. It's guess and check. I'm not perfect here. Like I can't just mentally do this right off the bat perfect every time. Okay, 165 carbs, we wanted 161. I'm close enough. I'm good with that. 51 fat, we wanted 55. I'm just about good with that. 176 on the protein, we wanted 190. So what I'll do is I'll go back. I'll look at each meal. Which meal is a little bit low in protein? 47 in meal 1, 43 in meal 2, 38 in meal 3, 48 meal 5. So let's bump up meal 3. I'm going to bump it up in two ways. I think it'll be fun for him to have a little bit more nutritional yeast in that meal. So that'll be a little bit more protein. And then I'm going to take that shreds of grapes and bump it from 50 to let's try 60 and see just where that puts us. So refresh those changes, a little bit of nutritional yeast, a little bit more say grace, 50 grams of protein. So that brings, we're at 188 protein. I wanted 190. That is close enough. We're at 52 fat. I wanted 55. That's close enough. 170 carbs, 161 carbs. Honestly, close enough here. It's 1900 calories. I think he's going to be in a good spot. So then after this has all been done here, I like to take this meal plan and break it down for my client and explain to him, exactly what and why we did each part. Because if you just throw, like kind of it's basically a recipe list. If you just throw this at somebody, they might be like, I don't really know what all this means or how to do it. So what I say is something like, all right, brother. So here's your meal plan. I've broken it down meal by meal, line by line. I know in all honesty that you're going to be tracking your macros for the most part, so that's totally fine. But there are a few things that I do recommend that we keep in here. I would at least keep the really some of the veggies, so like the zucchini. Obviously, I'm sure that you'll do this while you're tracking your macros. I would recommend that you keep the flaxseed in somewhere for hormonal support. I would also recommend that you keep the kimchi from meal one in there somewhere. It could be added to any other meal. I do think avocado is a really solid, healthy fat source. So I'd probably keep that somewhere. The one meal four, that's your intro workout. I definitely want you to keep this in, even if you're tracking your own macros. And then I would recommend that you put somewhere in there one of the vegan yogurts just for probiotic support. The meals can be eaten if you do want to follow the meal plan in any order that you prefer. Like if you want to have meal five as your first meal, that's totally fine. And then the only other thing is I do ask that you weigh all of the meals prior to cooking. So if you're tracking your macros or if you're following the meal plan, make sure that you weigh them first so that we're able to ensure that your cooking is the most accurate. So kind of working through this blueprint meal by meal, line by line. For meal one, I would do half a block of tofu. I want the Nasoya tofu super firm. It's like very high in protein. Or if you go to Trader Joe's, they have a super firm, organic, high protein tofu there. Mix that with 10 grams of nutritional yeast. You could add some tomato, the zucchini, the green peas, basically kind of fry it up or however you want to do it. You could do the air fryer if you preferred, but I think like on a skillet would probably be easiest. And then the kimchi on the side. For meal two, this could be an oatmeal bowl. This could be an overnight oats. You could even blend this up and make protein pancakes. But 40 grams of oatmeal, 45 grams of the veg, 100 grams of blueberries for some antioxidants, the flaxseed for the hormonal health benefits, and 100 grams of pumpkin. The pumpkin is orange, so it'll provide some vitamin A and some additional fiber. For meal three, this is kind of like an Italian bowl. So we got 60 grams of the shreds of grace, 10 grams of nutritional yeast, 100 grams of asparagus, 55 grams of avocado, and 125 grams of the pasta sauce. What I would probably do for that is I usually boil the say grace and then add all the other ingredients after. The asparagus you could microwave or bake or however you prefer. For meal four, this one is actually pretty specific. We do want to ensure that if we do this intra workout just on training days only. So meal four would be 1 gram of salt, 15 grams of the EAAs, 5 grams of creatine. And I still want you to do 5 grams every day, but we can do an additional 5 grams on training days. And then 20 grams of the highly branched cyclic dextrin. When you pair all these together, the highly branched cyclic dextrin allows you to train longer and harder. The essential amino acids allow you to recover better from that training. The creatine, it will help with hydration as well as being able to push a little bit harder while training. And then the salt helps prevent cramping while also still encouraging better contractions. So basically better workouts. And then for meal five, I've made like kind of like a smoothie bowl. What I would do for that is I would take the veg, the peanut butter powder, and probably the strawberries, blend that up, and then you could pour on top of it the yogurt and take the rice cake and kind of break it up and make like almost like a fat-free granola that can go on top. So this will bring us to about 1,900 calories a day, almost 190 grams of protein. So it's a bit higher than we're used to. But this should allow you to drop as much fat as we want without losing any muscle mass along the way. So take a look at this. Let me know any questions that you have. And if there's anything else I can do, just let me know. And we can swap anything out. There doesn't have to be any ingredient in here that we absolutely have to have. If you don't like asparagus, we can find something else. So take a look at it and let me know what you think, and we can go from there. All right. So, YouTube family, that is how I would make a sample meal plan for roughly a 190-pound man that's going to be working out and wanting to drop some fat. Our long-term goal is to get him shredded and ripped with a six-pack and be a great example of a jacked vegan. If you guys have any questions whatsoever with how to set up your own meal plan, or want me to build you one or something along those lines, just reach out. You guys can find me here through the comments, or you can go to thebodybuildingvegan.com and get my little questionnaire. You can fill that out so you can send me a direct message. And yeah, that's about it here, guys. I am going to plug the community, Vegan Squad. We would love for you guys to join. There is a link below for you to get a free week. Come see what we do. We connect vegans around the world. We make a safe place. We're based, our backgrounds are all in fitness and nutrition and holistic health. But I think if you're vegan and you feel lonely, you've either just started doing this or you've done it for a long time and you want to have the best friends and community in the world, sincerely come check out what we're doing. And so, with that, guys, Bodybuilding Vegan is out. I hope you have the best day ever. If you got any questions at all, just leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. Woot woot. That was fun. All right. Oh no. Oh no. I need to stop sharing my screen. All right. And with that, I'm gonna head out, guys. I'm gonna go get my next meal. I hope y'all take care.